Trump is already making U.S. manufacturing great again. How can this be? The tariff information is going to destroy America and massive inflation. This is impossible. Let's read from my man Brian Westbury over at First Trust. I forgot the name of the ftportfolios.com. The ISM Manufacturing Index increased to 50.9 in January, which is beating the expectations, but it's even more than that. The measure of activity were all higher in January. The new orders increased to 55.1. Production increased to 52. The employment index increased to 50. What does it mean to be above 50? That means there is expansion. Under 50 means it's contraction. We want expansion. And guess what? This is the first time we've had an expansion in the ISM Manufacturing Index since October 2022. The U.S. manufacturing sector shows signs of life in the first month of the new year. The ISM manufacturing beat expectations in January, the first expansionary reading since 2022 of October. New orders rose to 55.1, again the highest since 2022. Meanwhile, production activity pushed higher with the index rising to 52.5, the first expansionary reading in 8 months. Survey comments were modestly positive, penciling a steady to strong customer demand in 2025. It's very possible a Trump bump could be showing up the new orders data, but I thought there was going to be tariffs. That's crazy. The newfound optimism can perhaps be most easily seen in hiring. As the employment index jumped from 45.5, contractionary, to expansionary 50.3. The first expansion reading in 8 months. Oh my goodness. They are worried about inflation. The issue is that inflation is already a major problem in the manufacturing sector. Prices paid by companies rose again in January, with the index rising to 54.9, but from 52.5. So expansionary prices, higher prices already factored in. Given that the prices index has been above 50 for all but one of the past 12 months, despite sluggish activity, it's clear that the inflation still remains. But we have the first expansionary since October 2022. We had large increases for home building and highway and street projects. That's crazy. How could this possibly be? I thought tariffs were going to doom us. Check this out. Donald Trump has won the debate on tariffs within the Republican Party and has greatly increased support for tariffs among all Americans. A year ago, only 18% of the Americans supported higher tariffs. 23% said keep them as they are. 22% said lower them, but most people said they didn't have any opinion on it. However, the most recent study found that support for tariffs have gone up from 18 to 29%, while those who for lower tariffs dropped to 18%. 27% of the people said that the tariffs should stay the same. Look at that. In other words, support for higher tariffs has become the plurality opinion in America. More people support higher tariffs than support lowering tariffs or keep them the same. Not too shabby, if you do say so myself. 54% of Republicans say that tariffs should be raised. This is no longer the Bush Republican Party. I can be. Look, dude, I was an anti-tariff guy. I was an anarcho-capitalist. I was a libertarian. I was, I was a Robert Bork, go let companies take over monopolies, whatnot. I'm not that anymore. And most people, we've seen with our own very eyes the evidence of what happened with this strategy is the old Republican Party. You know what I'm saying? It's just let's make the American empire go and force democracy on people. No, we were just wrong. I mean, it's okay to admit you were wrong. It's okay to say we were wrong. Have a huge military presence and everywhere. No. Bring them all back home. Start making sure people pay their fair share. Start making sure that we have some kind of means to protect domestic industries because of national security. This isn't rocket science, dudes. You cannot have your economic enemies have so much of a stranglehold over steel manufacturing, energy policy. It's just, you can't do this. What do you think causes 73 and 74 inflation? It's because of our reliance on the Middle East oil. It's insane to me how we don't see this. And as such, they had us balls to the wall when it comes to the economy. And now, because of fracking, because there are just advances and all this stuff, we don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to rely on these guys. So why rely on China for manufacturing our steel capacities? I mean, who knows? Not just the large power transformers, but all. I mean, who knows what else we're relying on China for? I don't even know. I can't begin. Why rely on these guys? Is China go in a hot war with us? No, I don't want to go in a hot war with us. I don't think China's going to invade us anymore. We should invade them. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, we still need to have domestic stuff to get our country in order. If that means it's higher prices, so be it. But again, show me the evidence where tariffs lead to higher prices. Let me show you something here. I think I did a video on this. I can't remember. Oh, right here. The McKinleyite Trumpist GOP is more popular than ever. I could not agree more, dude. It's notable as the Republican Party has become much more favorably disposed to tariffs. It has also become much more popular with the American people. In today's poll, 31% have a favorable opinion of the Democrats, while 57% don't like them. This is the highest percentage of voters having an unfavorable opinion of the Democrats ever. 43%, though, have a favorable opinion of the Republican Party, while 45% have an unfavorable. This is the highest percentage of voters having a favorable opinion of the Republican Party ever. Whoa! This marks the biggest favorability advantage Republicans have had over Democrats forever. For Republicans, 42% of adult Americans have a favorable opinion, whereas only 49% have an unfavorable. 36% of adults have a favorable opinion of Democrats. 55% have an unfavorable. I mean, it's crazy. Just why you got to get this going. You can't waste time. I mean, look, Obama, even Biden was popular his first couple of months. So you can't waste time, dude. You can't waste time dilly-dallying. You got to say, let's get this done. I think I'm going to show you something here, though. It's pretty funny. This guy, Eric Doherty. I find it funny when Canada cries, but tariffs only hurt Americans. And then as soon as they get tariffed, decide to move forward on tariffs against the U.S. What happened to your arguments there, Canadians? Tariffs only hurt you. So we're going to retaliate by hurting ourselves. That makes sense. So I've already talked about the tariffs of 1890, the tariffs of 1921 or 22, I can't remember which year specifically, and the tariffs of 1930, how they didn't lead to massive inflation. A couple of guys, kind of silly, were saying, oh, there's no inflation after the 1890 tariff because of the Fed wasn't alive yet, and we still had hard money. And I said, you don't know your economic history, obviously. But anyway, we also have another episode here of the tariffs of 1789. The first Congress of 1789 passed a massive tariff legislation. Here are some of the tariffs. Notice right here, tariffs right here about the bottom. A tariff of 50 cents per pair of boots. 50 cents per pair of boots, all right? What happened to the future price of boots? Must have jumped like crazy because tariffs, right? So remember, the price of boots right here. Let me just see if I can't bring this up so y'all can see it. On boots right there. On boots, boots per pair, 50 cents. 50 cents was the tariffs on a pair of boots, all right? What happened to the price of boots? In 1796 was $6 a pair. In 1803, it went down to 1805 was down to $2 a pair. So 1798 or 1789, they put a 50-cent tariff on boots. 10 years later, the boots had gone from $6 a pair down to low as $2 a pair. So, I mean, and we can do this with all these various things here. We can say, we can go, because they do it all this in this thing, not just boots, shoes, and leather. They do tariffs. They show the prices on all these distilled spirits from Jamaica, gallon of beer, malt ale, brown sugars, loaf sugars. You do the whole thing you can do. And just use the government stuff here. And it's actually quite fun. And you can see that we have no evidence, again, that the tariffs raised higher inflation across the board. It's just the evidence isn't there. It's not there. Now, are there some pieces of like, well, this did? Yeah, sure. I mean, did the evidence of the Chinese tariffs, like where they're doing, well, after 10 days, the stock market fell because, when Trump put the Chinese tariffs on there and something else. Yeah, I mean, you can have short-term stuff, sure. But 1890, 1922, 1930, and then again, 1789, did we see mass inflation? We just did not. It's just not. In fact, again, if you go back to 1890, 1922, and 1930, there wasn't any inflation to speak of. It's deflation. I don't know the whole story about 1789. I haven't looked into it. It'd be kind of interesting too. Maybe I shall. But Trump's just kicking ass. He's making American manufacturing great again. Let's keep at it. We got the momentum, dude. Let's roll. Let's roll. Let's roll, baby. All right. God bless. Paw that like button. We'll see you.